Of the City of Lowell License Commission. First on the agenda,
Approval of minutes for the meeting of June 20th, 2013.
I'd like to say I thought that Ryan's been doing a good job with the minutes, and I move for approval.
second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Next on the agenda,
For ratification, the issuance of the following license on July 3rd, 2013. A special license for amplification of sound issued to Patricia Stella, manager of Stella LLC, doing business as Centro, 24 Market Street. Sound system for live music, outdoor music, acoustic music. This was a period from Tuesday, July 9th to Wednesday, July 17th. The sidewalk seating area at 24 Market Street.
I'll make a motion to ratify.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Application for a special one-day license for wines only, Michael F. Daly Jr. Is Mr. Daly here? Not present.
We'll put him at the end of the agenda.
Commission will now take up special one-day license application for malt beverages and wine only, or either one. Jerry Murphy of Camden Inc., doing business at Old Court in enclosed outdoor area, Middle Street at the corner of Central, Lowell Folk Festival 2013 for Friday, July 26th from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, Saturday, July 27th from 12 noon to 12 midnight. Kevin Hayhurst of the Hayhurst Group, Inc., doing business as Finn's Pub, the enclosed outdoor area adjacent to 7686 Merrimack Street, Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, Saturday, July 27th from 12 noon to 12 midnight, and Sunday, July 28th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Gilberto Rosado of DCGR, Inc., doing business as DNG All-Star Lounge, enclosed outdoor area adjacent to 177 Merrimack Street, Lowell Folk Festival 2013, Saturday, July 27th from 12 noon to 9 p.m., and Sunday, July 28th from 12 noon to 9 p.m. Songel Curtis, doing business as Eileen's Pizzeria and Grill, enclosed outdoor area adjacent to 127 Merrimack Street, Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, 2013. Penny Hammergas of Worthen Inc., 141 Worthen Street, enclosed parking lot at 152 Worthen Street, Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th, from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., then Saturday, July 27th, from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Anthony Contarino of Tremonte Restaurant Group, LLC, 44 Palmer Street, enclosed outdoor area, Middle and Palmer Streets, Lowell Folk Festival 2013, Friday, July 26th from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, Saturday, July 27th from 12 noon to 12 midnight, and Sunday, July 28th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Corey Belanger of CB Enterprises, Inc., foot of John Street, adjacent to the Boarding House Park, 40 French Street, the Lowell Folk Festival 2013, for Friday, July 26th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, July 27th, 12 noon to 10 p.m., Sunday, July 28th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Corey Belanger for the Dutton Street Dance Pavilion, Lowell Folk Festival, July 26th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, July 27th, from 12 noon to 10 p.m., and Sunday, July 28th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Corey Belanger of CB Enterprises for JFK Civic Plaza, Arcan Drive, Lowell Folk Festival, Saturday, July 27th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m., and Sunday, July 28th, from 12 noon to 7 p.m. Corey Belanger of CB Enterprises for enclosed outdoor seating area adjacent to 197 Market Street, Lowell Folk Festival for Friday, July 26th, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, and Saturday, July 27th, from 12 noon to 12 midnight. Corey Belanger of CB Enterprises for enclosed parking lot, well, actually, enclosed outdoor area, in front of 133 Market Street, Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, and Saturday, July 27th, from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. Those are the applications for special one-day beer and wine licenses.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Kevin Hayhurst, Finn's Pub. Anthony Contarino, Tremonte Pizzeria.
Corey Belanger, Major's Pub.
Penny Hammergas, Worthen House Cafe.
Songül Curtis, Eileen's Pizzeria.
Gilberto Rosado, All-Star Lounge.
Okay, how many have done this before? Okay. Just remember, the folk festival takes priority, okay? So, make sure that if any official from the Lowell Police or the folk festival committee comes around, you answer any questions that they have, and you comply with any orders that they give you. Other than that, I hope you guys make a lot of money, and I hope it's a good weekend.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I don't want to hit, we'll get to them in a second, okay? Do you have any comments on everything but Eileen's Pizzeria and Grill? Is that where you were gonna speak about? No? Okay.
No. Superintendent Friedel has asked us to make the request. It looks like most of these are going until midnight, with the exception of 1 or 2 going until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
If possible, to make them all expire at midnight, just for LPD's convenience, since there are so many going on at the same time, it would be a lot easier if everything was done at the same time. Thank you.
Okay. Why, can I just a question. Why is the law department speaking on behalf of the police department when we have a police officer here? That's my question.
I consulted with the law department earlier today about it.
But that's
I
what
would've made
that's what the
the
law
same
department
comments.
wants. I mean, that's what the police department wants.
Right.
Okay.
So you think that ending it all at the same time is better than having sort of a waterfall kind of thing?
Oh, this particular weekend every year with all the pedestrian traffic downtown and the opening and closing of different roadways at the end of the festival every night, it's easier for us if all of the one-day licenses expire at midnight. That gives us a couple of hours to get the crowds out and open up the streets.
Penny?
This is my 10th year, 11th year of doing this, and the only reason I request a license till 1 makes a lot of sense. 12 o'clock, the sound is off. Gives them an hour to unwind and leave quietly and peacefully. If we stop the music at 12 and want everybody out by 12, it's chaos. We did that the first couple of years, it didn't work out. Now it works out beautifully, and if it starts raining at 12:30, it's even better.
Have you had any incidents during the folk festival?
No, never.
Okay. And who's the other license to 1 a.m.? So you're the only one that's to 1 a.m. And have we ever had an issue, as far as you remember, Captain Webb, with the Worthen on the folk festival?
I don't recall one with the Worthen, no.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the licenses as is, except for Eileen's Pizzeria and Grill.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. And relative to if you guys could come to the podium.
I don't understand it. Why? What is the reason?
Well, no, we're going to address your situation right now, okay? Everyone else that was up here for the one-day license already has a liquor license, okay? So we received an email from the city, so I don't know who's speaking on behalf of the city today, whether it's the law department or the police department.
No.
So I'm not aware of
So
any
no one's
email.
going to, okay.
They're not, if I may just interject, neither the law department nor the police, to my knowledge. Maybe police are, but I don't know, I don't expect the solicitor to be apprised of a meeting of the city manager's office that took place sometime either in beginning of May. And apparently there had been a discussion amongst those people that sat in on that meeting that I'm not privy to. But I received an email from the downtown coordinator, Chris Samaras, who was writing on behalf of one of the assistant city managers, Mr. Backey, suggesting that the License Commission, for the policy of the city would be for those licensees that hold liquor licenses, to be able to have that privilege during the folk festival weekend for outdoor activity, whereas anyone that's presently not holding a liquor license, be it a restaurant, would not be, ought not to be considered for outdoor licensing during the folk festival weekend for alcohol beverages.
That was their recommendation.
That was the recommendation to the License Commission. It wasn't, it's apparently, the thinking is that too much licensing, too many businesses having the one-day licenses, too much alcohol being dispensed. In this instance, what you have is just one applicant who is presently not a licensee for the restaurant that they have at 127 Merrimack Street, looking to, like the other businesses downtown, take advantage of an opportunity that's comes once a year.
Have you ever served alcohol before?
No, we are new business. We opened 6 months ago.
Okay. Have you ever had any experience in selling alcohol in any other form? Any other form? Have you worked at another restaurant or owned another shop?
Well, I mean, we have experience in terms of, my wife, she's been working in Cambridge, and,
That's my question.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you've served alcohol before in another role, not this business, but in your prior life?
Yok yapmamışım. Niye yalan atıyorsun? I didn't serve, but I have a friend. They're gonna help me this day.
Okay.
Yeah. No, ben yapmamışım ya. Yalan atayım.
How are you obtaining the alcohol? If you get the license?
probably with the vendors, I mean, whatever, I talked to Ryan, I mean, there's probably the vendors around, I mean, proper vendors. So the city approves whatever.
And how are you going to check IDs?
Well, whatever the proper check-in is, we're gonna do the same thing, comply with the city regulations.
Okay.
What
Well,
is it?
you know this weekend, there's a lot of people, the Folk Festival weekend, there's a lot of people that come to the city of Lowell.
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Okay. And there's a wide variety of ages, from young ones all the way up. And so if an 18-year-old comes to you with a fake ID, do you have the experience to take a look at that ID and make a determination whether that's a valid ID?
But definitely, I mean, we gotta put the proper person, the employees, we gotta monitor them constantly.
Well, who is going to monitor those? Who's going to make that decision? Is it going to be you? Are you going to hire someone? That's my question.
There's someone who really knows
Arkadaşım var.
the person, I know exactly who is working in this business, in this, they're gonna do this, properly. I wanna make sure that, nothing is actually violated, this type of thing.
Mr. Chairman, just if I may interject another matter. Mrs. Curtis has the sidewalk seating license from the City of Lowell Council.
Right.
For the sidewalk area, which, like other businesses, they must maintain a 4-foot width to allow for pedestrian right-of-way. I think through the chair, my question would be whether there is an intention on the part of the city, the downtown coordinator, through the downtown coordinator, to allow this business to expand beyond that existing sidewalk seating area. Is there a plan of consideration of that for your business?
Well, I mean,
Eski adam nasıl yapıyorsa.
we thinking about to bring like ethnic concept into it, to
I'm
bring.
sorry, could you speak to the mic, please?
The more like ethnic concept into the situation. I wanna do like entertainment for the ethnic,
But have you worked this out with the downtown coordinator?
yes.
You have?
Well, I already talked to him, yes, I talked to Chris.
Has
And he
he
knows
made
about
it
it.
clear that you will be able to expand the sidewalk seating area
Yes.
into the into the street?
Yes, that's correct,
He did make that clear?
yes.
Okay.
I mean, I understand the city's concern, but I also, and this, I've sat here for a good number of years now, and it goes back to the communication between this board and the city there's some sort of disconnect. And I think this is a case where there is a disconnect as to what the real reason is to not allowing this license, and where it's not 6 or 7 different people that are up here applying, and it's one license, my inclination would be to approve the license.
I agree that this has come to us in a sort of a roundabout way, and nobody being here seems to me to indicate that it's not a high priority with the city, but more of that seemed like a good idea at the time. We have one group here They seem to be paying attention to the rules and regulations. I expect that if they mess it up, we'll find out, and that we know opportunities in the future for a long time.
And just be aware, if you get caught serving to a minor, then they can bring a criminal complaint against you. Just that's forewarning. So just make sure, if the license is granted, one, that you have the license displayed, and two, make sure you have someone that knows what they're doing in terms of, I would talk to someone who runs a tips course, and get the proper, there's a book that they sell relative to IDs, and make sure that you cover your bases.
And I'd say double check back with the police and with Ryan, just to make sure your plan is good. And pay attention to your P's and Q's. I move we accept it.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. So moved.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commission now take up applications for a special event permit for amplification of sound. Patricia A. Stella, manager of the Stella LLC, doing business as Centro. Sound system for live music, outdoor acoustic music, July 18th, 2013 through October 16th, per city ordinance. Sunday to Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Thursday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 midnight, sidewalk seating area at 24 Market Street. Sandy McNamara, the Centerville Neighborhood Action Group, sound system for outdoor movie, public address, National Night Out at St. Louis School, Tuesday, August 6th, 2013, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., the outdoor grounds for St. Louis School, 77 Beauvais Street. Taya Dixon Mullane, Lower Highlands Neighborhood Group, sound system for outdoor movie, public address, National Night Out at the Maury School, Tuesday, August 6, 2013, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., outdoor grounds of Maury School, 114 Pine Street. James Diamond, the Lowell Art Association, Inc., doing business as the Whistler House Museum of Art, for a sound system for live band wedding reception for Saturday, August 3rd, 2013, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., the Whistler Park, adjacent to museum, on museum property at 243 Worthing Street. Jerry Murphy, Camden Inc., Old Court, 2931 Central Street, sound system for band and or disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th, and Saturday, July 27th. Okay, and that would be in an enclosed outdoor area on Middle Street at corner of Central Street. Penny Hammergrass of the Worthing House Cafe, 141 Worthing Street, sound system for band and disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival, enclosed parking lot at 152 Worthing Street on Friday and Saturday, and then the alley only at 141 Worthing Street on Sunday.
Ryan, what's the hours on that? Just, is it midnight?
The, well, with respect to the folk festival activities and all of that entails, everything is contingent upon the venues,
Right.
first and foremost, but city ordinance will not allow any amplification after 12 midnight for Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night.
Yep, all right.
So
Just
that's,
wanted to make sure.
so, but the commission could make that less than 12 midnight.
Right.
Kevin Hayhurst of the Hayhurst Group, doing business as Finn's Pub, 7686 Merrimack Street, sound system for disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival on Friday, July 26th, and Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, 2013. Enclosed outdoor area in front of 7686 Merrimack Street. And by the way, Sunday evenings, if 10 o'clock is the cutoff point, but I'm sure Sunday evening would be I think the shutdown time is actually about 6 p.m. Songle Curtis, doing business as Eileen's Pizzeria and Grill, 127 Merrimack Street, enclosed outdoor area adjacent to 127 Merrimack Street for the Lowell Folk Festival, Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th. On behalf of Mambo Grill, doing business as Mambo Grill, 129 Merrimack Street, Annie Vong is here for the sound system for band and or disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival on Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, in an enclosed outdoor area in front of and or adjacent to 129 Merrimack Street. Jeffrey Hernandez, the sound system for the public address system for car show in conjunction with the 33rd Annual Lowell Puerto Rican Cultural Festival, Saturday, August 3rd, 2013, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This location would be at the Brunswick Zone parking lot at 645 Pawtucket Boulevard. Eric Sack, sound system for live music, public address, and disc jockey for the Southeast Asian Water Festival for Saturday, August 17th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Heritage Campus Pavilion, Pawtucket Boulevard. Nick Petrakis of the Blue Shamrock, sound system for band and a disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival on Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, an enclosed outdoor area adjacent to 105 Market Street. Alan Kaplan of the Middle Street Village, Inc., sound system for band and a disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival on Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, and Sunday, July 28th, enclosed outdoor area in front of 9298 Middle Street. And Corey Belanger of CB Enterprises, Inc., for a sound system for band and a disc jockey for the Lowell Folk Festival on Friday, July 26th, Saturday, July 27th, for the enclosed outdoor area at the parking lot of 133 Market Street.
Introduce yourself for the record.
My name's Heidi Miller. I'm standing in for Sandy McNamara. She had a medical emergency.
Patty Stella, Central Restaurant.
Taya Dixon Mullane, Lower Highlands Neighborhood Group.
James Diamond, Lowell Light Association.
Kevin Hayhurst, Finn's Pub.
Penny Hamburgers, Worthen House Cafe.
Alan Kaplan, Village Smokehouse.
Andy Vong, sitting for Julie Coy, Mama Grill.
Jerry Murphy from the Old Court.
Nick Petrakis, the Blue Shamrock.
Eric Sack, Southeast Asian Water Festival.
Jeff Hernandez, Hijos de Borinquen, Lowell, Puerto Rican Cultural Festival.
Corey Belanger, Major's Pub.
Okay, and I'm assuming that the Curtises left, is that, looks like that they took off. All right. Well, we can move forward without them. Relative to the sound amplification, I know I say it all the time, but it's a common sense license. You don't want to hear the Blue Shamrock in Pawtucketville, okay? It's the folk festival, the venues, most of these licenses, it's the folk festival, the venue takes priority. If one of the folk festival representatives comes and asks you to turn your music down, do it. That's what takes precedence on this weekend. Other than that, I got nothing.
I was sorry the Curtises left, because I was wondering how between Eileen's Pizza and the Mambo Grill, because they're right next door to each other, how are you going to work that relationship on noise, music, sound? Have you talked to each other?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Well, why don't you have Frankie talk to Mr. Curtis or Mrs. Curtis, and you guys can work that out, okay? But just remember, if the Folk Festival Committee comes by, you gotta turn down your music. And for the other licenses, for the Nights Out and Centro and the museum, I have no issue, so I'll make a motion to approve all the licenses.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
You're approving the Curtis license, though, right?
Yes, yeah.
Heidi?
Sorry, I missed you.
May I have your name?
Heidi Miller. H-E-I-D-I. D-I. H-E-I-D-I. M-I-L-L-E-R. Thank you.
We'll just call that guy Dan.
That was Daly.
Yeah, we'll just call him Dan.
Okay, yeah. Anybody waiting for an application to be reviewed will be taken care of in due order, okay? Now the commission will take up matters to do with sidewalk permit applications. On behalf of the business known as Humanity Lifestyles, Inc., Frankie DeCona is the owner. Annie Bong is here on her behalf, this being at 128 Merrimack Street for the Lowell Folk Festival weekend. Mark Codere of doing business as Mark's Running and Fitness at 118 Merrimack Street for a seasonal April through October 2013 permit. Greg Harding of Giovanni's is not able to make it this evening, but Annie Bong will be able substitute for 134 Merrimack Street for the Lowell Folk Festival. Is Jasmine Zubis here? Okay, she can be scratched. Christopher Melville? I can scratch him, I guess. Gilberto Rosado. Okay. Doing business as D&G All-Star Lounge, DCGR Inc., 177 Merrimack Street for Lowell Folk Festival. Kevin Hayhurst, doing business as Finn's Pub, Hayhurst Group Inc. at 7686 Merrimack Street for Lowell Folk Festival weekend. Patricia Collins, the Coffee Mill at 23 Palmer Street for the Folk Festival weekend, is unable to make it this evening. Circumstances beyond her control is cause for her absence. Robert Danon is here representing a business known as Persona at 51 Market Street, Lowell Folk Festival weekend. Mr. Danon is representing a person by the name of Jeremy McKenna, who, in our conversation Mr. McKenna and I have had on telephone, needs some clarification on just what the proper business name or proper entity that should be licensed. But this business, Persona, has been operating at 51 Market Street for at least 2 years. Is Robert Tinley here? Robert Tinley? Mr. Tinley is not here, okay. Corey Belanger from Major's Pub, CB Enterprises, Inc., 197 Market Street for Lowell Folk Festival weekend. Lydia Blanchard, Sweet Lydia's, 160 Merrimack Street for Lowell Folk Festival weekend. I believe her husband is here on her behalf. Mr. Chairman, just for the sake of these permits, some of the businesses which are known to be licensed restaurants, at present time do not have approved by the City Council for sidewalk seating licensing. And such as excuse me, I take that back. The 197 Market Street, which is now known as Major's Pub, D&G All-Star Lounge does not have a sidewalk seating license. These two businesses in particular, and Finn's Pub as well, neither those three have a sidewalk seating license. So to cover them for liability's sake, for the city's purposes, a sidewalk stand permit seems to be the plausible alternative for that.
Right.
That's all.
You can introduce yourself for the record.
Annie Vaughn for Humanity and Giovanni's Trends.
Corey Belanger, Major's Pub.
Robert Dignan, Persona.
Gilberto Rosado, All-Star Lounge.
Mark Adair, Mark's Running.
Kevin Hayhurst, Finn's Pub.
Craig Thomas on behalf of my wife Lydia Blanchard for Sweet Lydia's.
Robert, can you go to the, what does Persona sell?
We are a skate shop, and we also sell skate footwear and apparel.
Okay. And who's the owner of the entity?
Jeremy McKenna.
Okay. And is he a corporate principal, or is he owned
We are a
individually?
sole proprietorship.
Sole proprietorship?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a business certificate from the clerk's office in the city of Lowell?
Yep, I brought that with me also.
So the entity should be Jeremy McKenna doing business as Persona? Can you let me see the business certificate for a second?
Because I have our paperwork from last year as well.
And you did this sidewalk stand last year also?
Yes, we did. Yep.
What I can do is, Mr. Chairman, is just give you kind of a background on this situation. Mr. McKenna has a primary business address in Nashua, New Hampshire. Under the Secretary of State's of New Hampshire, he has a corporation known as Soul Motion, Inc. And when he opened his business here in Lowell at 51 Market Street, he registered a business name with the city clerk, Persona, but under the LLC known as Soul Motion LLC. And he has it on the business certificate, a Nashua, New Hampshire address. The Soul Motion LLC does not exist in Massachusetts. It's not registered as a viable limited liability company, nor is Soul Motion Inc. registered in Massachusetts as a foreign corporation. So in my conversation with Mr. McKenna several days ago, the issue of clarifying exactly how he wanted to proceed with this application and who would be the proper licensee. His concern was to try to satisfy the city's demand that there be liability insurance. So that, I'm not so sure I was able to impress upon him what I had in mind as far as if he wanted to use Soul Motion Inc. as his business corporation for Lowell, then it's my understanding he should register with the Secretary of State's office as a foreign corporation if he wants to retain that. And obviously, he's a viable enterprise in New Hampshire. Otherwise, he could register a new corporation, LLC, if you will, in the Commonwealth for Soul Motion. So that's where it stands. Mr. Danon is apparently his primary employee for the Lowell address.
I'm the head manager.
So he's the store manager. This is a one-time event. You don't do it beyond the Folk Festival weekend, right? So he's the.
Did they give you an insurance binder?
There is a policy.
And it names the city as the lost
The city, yeah, and in fact, he had a license last year under Soul Motion LLC, and it was, the city was it was under the certificate. It was properly prepared at that time. So I think that's where Mr. McKenna and I, in our conversation, was kind of, was left with him to try to work it out with his insurance man.
Yeah, okay. With relative to the sidewalk stands, you can't sell anything that you don't usually sell in the store. Whatever's sold inside can be sold outside. And just make sure that you keep the sidewalks clear, so that way people can get up and down the sidewalks without any obstacles. Anything?
Yeah, I'm for approving these, except the 3 or 4 where the people aren't here. What's the recommendation from Ryan?
Well, I know that Mr. Tinley, in my speaking with Robert Tinley, he just came into the office earlier in the week. He's got a business name. It's a new business in downtown Lowell. Last part of our conversation was to ensure that he understood that he needed a liability policy if the city be co-insured. I did give him the note to come to this evening's meeting. I assume he'll follow through on that if he wants to pursue with the license. He still has to follow through with the insurance policy. I don't foresee him being an issue for the license commission or for the city. Mr. Melville, I reached out to him to try to have him appear this evening. I spoke to one of his business partners at 103 Market Street. He's not returned my calls. So I assume he's not interested. Initially he was, but apparently for some reason he's not. I have no idea what happened with Jasmine. Initially she had requested a license application for 45 Merrimack Street. Maybe she's no longer in business. I don't know.
And Patricia Collins, we got notice that there was a medical issue.
Yeah, there's an issue that.
And she's had the license many times.
Yeah, she's been licensed actually,
Okay, so
according to her records, 8 years.
So I'll make a motion that we approve every license except for the Rainbow Shop and Tabletop Arena LLC.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Good luck, guys. I hope you make a lot of money. Sure, Tremonti.
By the abutters. Okay. It's a last-minute application.
This is that.
Got an affidavit, yeah.
Sit outside there. They've already fenced off.
There's one thing I would need to clarify. In the legal notice, I included the Palmer Street side as well as the Middle Street side, but apparently it's only gonna be the Palmer Street side.
We'll ask that. Okay.
Commissioner, now open a public hearing on the application by Tremonte Restaurant Group LLC, Anthony Cantarino, manager, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee for premises at 44 Palmer Street, 112 Middle Street, for alteration of premises with the addition of a sidewalk seating area on the west side and north side of the restaurant.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Anthony Contarino, owner of Tremonte Pizzeria.
Okay, how's business going, all right?
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
On your application, the public notice says the Palmer Street side and the Middle Street side, but it looks like from your drawing, you're just using the...
That's all I want.
It's just the Middle Street side?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's too narrow on...
Just the Palmer Street side.
Yeah, it's too narrow on the Middle Street side.
okay.
And I have, according to the drawing, I believe it shows 4 feet off the street from the sidewalk.
5 feet.
5 feet, okay. Yeah, I think the sidewalk's 16 feet, and I bought 11 feet of patio fencing to go out.
Okay. And when people come in, are they gonna have to go through
Yes.
through the main door to get outside?
Yeah, they're gonna enter into the corner of Middle and Palmer, and then walk out through the double doors in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's a public hearing, so we have to open it up for comment. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Seeing none, that portion of the hearing is closed. Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Seeing none, that portion of the hearing is now closed. So far, so good. There's been no issues that I'm aware of. I've been inside. It looks great. And I think this will only add to your business. So
No question.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you very much.
Luck.
Thank you.
Sure. Like the abutters notices? Yes. Yes. I have both here. Yes, the affidavit should be. This here is the affidavit notice. It just continues on to the second page where it's on.
Excellent. Thank you.
Really?
Commission will now open a public hearing on the application filed by the Global Montello Group Corporation, DBA Alltown, Lowell. Edward J. Fanuel is the Executive Vice President for a malt beverage and wine-only package store license for premises at 980 Chelmsford Street.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Karen Simeo, McDermott, Quilty, and Miller. With me this evening, I have the proposed manager of records, Scott McGaffey, as well as a corporate representative. By way of reference, I know that the board has a copy of the application. This ultimately does run to a publicly traded company along with multiple other locations. And so we do like to have a corporate representative present in the event that there are any larger corporate issues that the board may wish to seek information on.
Hey, explain to me what you want to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The application is read into the record. The board, I'm sure, is familiar with this, was formerly operated as a mobile gas station and mobile mart. A few years back, it was acquired by Global Montello Group Corp. Recently, there was a rebranding to Alltown, as indicated on the record. And so the application before you really comes as the result of a public request that we make this request to the board. We are all very familiar with the concept that there doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day. Folks have full-time jobs, families, public service such as yourselves, and folks look for that one-stop shop convenience in their day-to-day activities. I have here with me over 950 signatures from customers of this location. They're repeat customers, they come in frequently. These signatures were taken in under a 2-week period. It was a very passive petition, but we did want to be able to evidence in some sort of concrete form to the commission the fact that the customers that currently come to this store would like this as an amenity to what is currently offered at this location. We're not here pretending to be a full-service package store. That is not the concept. Alltown is a higher-end convenience concept, and to that extent, as far as the mixed use relates, we would like to be able to offer our customers, in response to their demands, limited wine and malt beverages for off-premise consumption. To that end, I know that the commission is very well aware of the law in this respect, and specifically the Ballerin case. That specific case talks about public need and common good, which is always sort of a difficult thing to solidify. And so frequently we'll use these types of petitions as one way to solidify one of the multiple factors in the Ballerin case.
Well, if there's public need, let me ask you this. Directly across the street, there's a beer and wine license. What's the need for another one?
Directly across the street, there's a beer and wine license attached to and as an amenity to a butcher shop that is currently there. The folks that come in to stop to get gas and or buy a convenience item at this location are not going across the street for the services that are offered across the street. Again, this is not a competitive issue to compete with them. It is merely to service the customers that are currently at this location. And so when we talk about public need, that's an important factor. I do have some maps, to the extent that the board would like to review them, that show sort of where the different licenses are condensed in the area. This particular location, although it does have what I would call a limited wine and malt license across the street, similar to what we are requesting, but for different purposes and different customers, there is then at least a 1-mile radius where there is nothing, and then you see multiple clusters throughout the city again. So it's not uncommon for this commission to grant multiple licenses within a condensed area, and I'm sure that in all of those cases it was taken on a case-by-case basis, considering the factors.
I always like to look at maps.
You always like maps, or you do not like maps?
You
Mr.
like maps.
Well,
so
let's
I'd like to see the map.
get you some maps.
Do you have the Chelmsford locations on the map?
Honestly, Mr. Chair, I don't recall. I have a couple here. One second, Mr. Nguyen, let me give you, there's one for your record as well. There are a couple of things in this package. There are a couple of items in this package. The first package, and again, when we consider the Ballerin factors, we're not only looking at signatures and customer counts, of course, we're looking at the character and fitness of the applicant, the appropriateness of this location, noise, traffic, all of those things. Since this is a going concern, an existing business, and it's meant to be an amenity to existing customers, there is no increase in noise, traffic. This is not meant to be some sort of a device to bring more people into the store. When we speak,
It's not meant to bring more people into the store? I mean, you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't want more people coming into the store.
well, I think that it generates, respectfully, Mr. Chairman, it generates certainly more revenue, more tax dollars, and more revenue for our business, but that's a result of the existing customer base. Again, we're not going, I guess what I'm trying to say is, unlike a restaurant or a package store that may open, we're not taking out ads in the sun and saying, we sell beer and wine. But when we look at the character and fitness of the applicant, I just want to point out there's an extensive training process. These folks own many locations, several in New Hampshire and Maine. There are internal and extensive training that occurs All employees will be TIPS trained and certified. They already are, with the exception of 3 that are on vacation. So they've already undergone that training. It's taken very seriously. This is one page, your cover page, out of their pretty extensive training manual. And I point it out because I do always like to give credit to all of our clients who recognize that we'd rather lose a sale than lose a license. A license is a privilege. These folks understand that, and respect the law in that regard. If you flip back, the next couple of pages give you a little more detail on the maps attached at the end, as requested by the commissioner. Our site is the premise along the bottom. So you see sort of the teardrop representing our premises, and we do note that Alpine Butcher Shop is across the street. You will then note that throughout the remainder of the city, there are certainly clusters of similar businesses. To be fair, we also did separate it out between wine and malt beverage licenses, which is what we're here for today, and a separate posting for the all alcoholic beverages licenses, which are typically more consistent with a full package store license. And in looking at the map again, we note that there is this trend of clustering licenses in appropriate locations, and again, I'm sure taken on a case-by-case basis for that purpose. This is certainly an appropriate location. We only hope that the commission finds that we meet the criteria set out in Ballerin between petitions that have been submitted to the commission, with the commission's familiarity with the location and the surrounding area, with the information as it relates to the overall operation and the character and fitness of this applicant, as well as, again, the appropriateness of this location. I would also just like, for the record, to point out one more case, which I think is very relevant here, and that's the Donovan case. When we talk about public need, we sometimes sort of look at it in this very specific scope. And Donovan went on to say that one of the things that need to be considered is the use. What is the format? And so in this case, it is very important that we're looking at the particular format, that it is a convenience format. It's not meant to be a full-service package store. It's not meant to be a butcher shop that offers an amenity to its customers. It is independently its own use in this specific area in the city. And so we do hope that the commission will take that into consideration.
Is Alltown a major or is an independent service station C-store?
Alltown is one of the multiple locations that ultimately run up to the publicly traded entity. So it's not a separate it's not a separate franchise. It's not an independent location. It's a corporately run store.
I don't think you've answered my question, but the gentleman behind you looked like he might almost.
I don't think I fully understand what you're asking.
So are you owned by a major oil company, or are you an independent
a major
organization?
Oil company.
Technically, the majors are Gulf, Mobil, Shell. We don't fall into that category. We are a large corporation. We're publicly traded. We're not.
Okay.
Mr. McAfee, you're going to be the manager? Okay.
Do you want
And
to come in so it's on the record?
I see that you worked at AOTS. Did you have any stings or compliance checks that you failed while you were working at AOTS?
12 years I was there, we failed one because the sales associate in her head tried to do the math while looking at the license, and she failed by about 6 months.
But it wasn't you that did it?
No.
Okay. All right, this is a public hearing. We have to open it up. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor of this license? In favor? In favor? I'm surprised with all these signatures, no one showed up to speak in favor. In opposition, in opposition, in opposition. Seeing none, that portion of the hearing is closed. I think you gave an excellent presentation.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing missing was an emphasis on the traffic situation and how difficult it would be for someone to go from the service station to the butcher shop or the other way.
But no, I think you gave an excellent presentation. My only concern is, and we've had other gas stations, that's really what you are, a gas station and a convenience store. that have had issues with compliance checks, and they're owned by major corporations also, and they say that they have this advanced training program, et cetera. But then they've gotten stung a bunch of times. And your level of scrutiny of who comes in that establishment has to be greater than, you know, Joe's package store, because most of the people walking in there are of age, but you're gonna have people going into the Dunkin' Donuts. You're gonna have kids coming in, buying a candy bar, and, you know, Lowell's a big college town, it has a high population. If you get known as a place that sells to minors, that's what you're gonna be swamped with, and you're just asking for trouble. So, you know, just keep that in mind going forward. But with that, I make a motion to approve the license.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you,
Good
Mr.
luck.
Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you always to Mr. Nguyen.
This girl? This girl did? Really?
Thank you.
This only can make it. What did you lose? 25% to 5. Did you run? Did you run? Did you? Did you?
Commission now open a public hearing on the application filed by the Middle Street Village, Inc., doing business as the Village Smokehouse. Alan Kaplan, President, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee for premises 9298 Middle Street, for change of officer, director, and transfer of stock. The only requirement in this application is that a public legal notice be published in the local newspaper, which had been done on July 5th. It's not required that the abutters be notified on this application.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Commissioner, my name is Adam Barnowski. I'm with the Law Office of Robert L. Allen Jr., 300 Washington Street, Brookline, Massachusetts. I'm here on behalf of Middle Street Village, Inc. With me is Alan Kaplan, who is the president of the corporation. We're here on a very simple transaction to change the corporate officers and on a transfer of stock. There were originally 3 partners in this corporation, Mr. Kaplan, Timothy Kelleher, and Dennis Cronin. Dennis Cronin is resigning as a director of the corporation and transferring his shares to Mr. Kelleher. Mr. Kaplan will remain the majority shareholder. There will be no new ownership, and there will be no change in the operation.
This is my concern tonight. My inclination is to continue this hearing because the law office can send an attorney to represent him for this transaction. I'm sure you're a perfectly capable attorney that could represent him in the other incident that was asked to be continued from tonight. So, you know, if you can get representation to be here for this transaction, why can't you get representation for the next transaction? That's my concern with going forward tonight. I think, you know, because my thought is that Mr. Allen and his office is representing him for this transaction, and then come the next hearing, there's gonna be local counsel representing him at the disciplinary hearing. That's my thought as to what's gonna happen. And I just don't think that's fair to this board. So that's my thoughts on it. But, with that being said, it is a relatively minor transaction. So, I don't know, what are your feelings, Mr. Commissioner?
Like you, I'm not sure I understand why one legal representative can show up and another one can't, so I'm not too happy about this. could avail ourselves of our legal office to give us their thoughts?
It's really up to the commission. The law department isn't taking a position one way or the other.
That's a very legal answer, right?
All right,
I mean, I guess, you know, I feel bad for coming up here from Brook. It's just, I'm gonna be very disappointed in the Village Smokehouse if Mr. Allen's not here at the next meeting.
Yeah, it's, if I can just respond, we were here, supposed to be here on two matters, and like you said, this is a relatively straightforward matter. The other matter we'd be on for is a little more complicated. I am handling this much simpler matter, and have been since the beginning, and certainly Mr. Allen, we both would be here, and he would be handling that matter. I don't think there's no prejudice to Mr. Kaplan if this matter, you do want to continue it. It is a straightforward issue. It's not gonna change operations, and certainly to hold it off for approval at the ABCC wouldn't be an issue.
so, am I to understand that Mr. Allen isn't here because you're still trying to figure out what exactly is going on the other issue?
No, it was my understanding that Mr. Allen had an unavoidable conflict, a previous commitment, and was not able to attend tonight. And it was our understanding with the License Commission, when we spoke to a representative in the office, that it wouldn't be that much of a problem to continue this to the next commission meeting, or at any point in time that you find appropriate.
Mr. Chairman, I can go either way on this.
Me too. But you know what? You seem like a nice guy, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Commission will now open a public hearing on the application filed by the Bhumi Liquors, Inc., Vilma Kumar Patel, President, for the transfer of the all-alcoholic beverages packaged goods store license from Sansinshi, Inc., doing business as Pacific Liquors, Sumpel M., President, for premises at 421 Central Street.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Good evening, Larry Bean from Nicosia Associates in Tingsboro, Mass., representing Bhumi Liquors, Inc.
Okay. Could you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, Bhumi Liquors, Inc. is purchasing the business and leasing the premises located at 421 Central and 77 Charles. The current license holder, if I get this name right, Sakin Shi Incorporated, Sureth M., President, is also here. This is an all alcohol license. The premises is roughly 3,100 square feet, consists of a main floor, 2 storage areas, and a downstairs storage in the cellar. This is straight transfer. There is no change of the space. There is no change of the hours whatsoever. As you note from that lengthy package that you're holding there, Attorney Nicosia has sent in quite a few things, which I won't go into every detail, but I'm willing to answer any questions that you have. In that packet, though, is the manager's application, the personal and financial information for all the offices of the corporation, the purchase and sales agreement, the lease, query request, corporate documents, and the source of funds. I also have with me that I don't believe was put in there is the certificate of good standing for Bhumi Liquors, Inc., along with the DOR certificate of good standing, and also have the tip certificate for the general manager.
And Attorney Bean, who's the proposed manager?
That's what I was going to get to next.
Okay.
As I said earlier, the current license holder is here tonight.
Yep.
With me also is Vimo Patel, who is the president of the corporation, Ela Bagat, who's the treasurer and going to be the general manager, and also the secretary, Donna J. Patel, is also here. Ela will be the general manager and be the manager and will be the person at the site at all times. She is tip certified, as I stated. She does have previous experience in the retail industry, but not the alcohol industry. But she is, as I said, tip certified. She's well aware of the rules and regulations. In regards to carding, they're going to have a card everyone policy, and they are also going to be purchasing a machine that will be checking the licenses as they come in. They fully understand that this is a privilege. They want to be good members of the community. All three of them are residents of Lowell, and they're hoping that you will approve the transfer.
We'll open up for a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in favor, in favor, in favor? Seeing none, that portion of the hearing is closed. Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition, in opposition, in opposition? Seeing none, that portion of the hearing is closed. Pacific Liquors, he's done a great job running Pacific Liquors. They haven't had one minor issue. Other than that, they've had no issues for a very long time. And in taking that over, that's our biggest concern, that the ownership continues having that, strict policy of carding everyone, which you, through your attorney, have said that you will have, and that, you'll follow the rules and regulations of the city of Lowell and the general laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. But again, another excellent presentation by your attorney, and I see no problem with approving this license transfer. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck. It's just got to go be approved by the ABCC, and then it'll be all set.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, well, in respect to, there are two items, number 11 and 12, with respect to hearings that had been scheduled for this evening. A hearing on a complaint from the superintendent of police, Deborah Friedel, with respect to the package store licensee, L&S Liquors, Inc., for failing to comply with the police investigations compliance check, as well as the one complaint from the superintendent is from the Village Smokehouse, which was just alluded to in the previous hearing on a matter to do with the Village Smokehouse. For reasons beyond the control of the License Commission, request for continuance on these hearings. Attorney Robert Allen of his law office in Brookline had requested through a letter the continuance for the Mill Street Village, Inc., as his associate had pointed out to the commission. Mr. Allen could not be present this evening. With the City of Lowell Law Department speaking for purposes of maximizing the use of police officers who come before the License Commission and to make sure that the city is able to finance their presence in an equitable and a manner that would be so best maximize their presence. Officers that were to speak on behalf for the city regarding the Village Smokehouse would also be here to speak regarding L&S Liquors, that complaint. So I did speak with the manager of the L&S Liquors, let it be known of the situation, proposing to him that if he has an attorney, he might want to ask that attorney to represent him at the next opportunity with a hearing on this matter.
So our next meeting in August is?
You have two meetings in August, August 8th and August 22nd. And then, last but not least, there was some discussion at our last meeting on June the 20th with respect to a complaint that the superintendent had filed against the licensee Hayhurst Group, Inc., and I believe it's my understanding that on that discussion, would the superintendent's office be looking for additional complaint against the Hayhurst Group, Inc.? To date, I have nothing to submit to the board. So the original letter from the superintendent pertains to allegations that the licensee failed to properly notify the License Commission and the Lowell Police Department with respect to some type of presumably an altercation on the premises, that under our new regulations, a licensee is to notify the licensing board within 48 hours of such altercation.
Well, why don't we put on the Village Smokehouse and the Finn's Pub for August 8th? Good. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, as far as the August 8th date,
Yeah.
Excuse me, you said the Village Smokehouse?
I
for
said
August
Village Smokehouse and Hayhurst Group, but
Okay,
Those
as far as the Finn's Pub hearing goes,
yeah, that's
for
what-
August 8th, we would have 3 witnesses. We know one of them is available that date, one of them is not, and we haven't been able to contact the third witness yet to see if they're available, so we would ask for a different date.
you asked for a different date.
What about L&S Liquors? When are people available for that?
Other than tonight, whenever it's convenient for the commission, the officers will be available.
All right, so why don't we do the first two on August 8th, and we'll do the Hayhurst Group on August 22nd? Is that Finn's Pub, Hayhurst Group, August 22nd? Does that make sense?
Yeah, if that's good with Captain Webb scheduling, that's good with me.
Yep.
So hearings on the allegations of misconduct against L&S Liquors, Inc., and against the Miller Street Village, Inc., to be heard August the 8th.
Yep.
And the complaint that the License Commission received in July, or in June, I should say, with respect to Hayhurst Group, Inc., will be heard on August the 22nd.
And that's fine with Hayhurst Group for now, correct? August 22nd? Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. And then that's fine, so we gotta go back to,
So there'll be nothing in addition to that complaint from the Hayhurst Group?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I'm not gonna file it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't, I
Yeah.
just didn't know whether we're leaving it open any further. There was some question at the last meeting, on
Right.
June 20, whether there would be opening it, keeping it open for whether, in the notice of hearing that would be sent to a licensee, generally it includes the allegations of misconduct.
We'll just go with what the police
So what
department.
we presently have is, will be that and only that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we gotta go to back to, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Daly is here. Going back to item number 3 on our agenda, we have a special one-day license application for wines only. Michael F. Daly Jr. of the Uncharted Gallery at 66 Merrimack Street. He has the art opening, the dark room, Roman numeral 2, for Friday, July 26th, 2013, from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, and again for Saturday, July 27th, from 2 p.m. to 12 midnight.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Michael F. Daly Jr., Uncharted Gallery.
Okay. Typically, when you have your, let me start over. Have you had a gallery at Merrimack Street? Have you had wine for your gallery at all?
We have in the past, yes.
You have in the past, okay. Have you got a license from here?
No, sir. There was some back and forth between Cool and for a little while.
Okay. Do you typically have your gallery open till midnight?
It depends on the event, but we like to end things before midnight, before things get too crazy out on Merrimack Street.
Okay. How long have you been open?
Since, I'm trying to think, our official opening, we did a pop-up gallery for Cool in February of a year and a half ago.
In terms of the wine that's gonna be served, are you selling it?
No, sir.
Okay. Who's gonna be pouring it?
Myself or someone else from the gallery.
Is there a limit as to the amount of wine that is served to an individual?
I'm sorry?
Is there a limit to the amount of wine that's served to an individual?
Sure.
What's the limit?
Whatever is legally, we don't want to overserve anyone, you know, we're just there to.
Well, see, this is, when we discussed this and the galleries came in, it seemed like the wine was just a little bit of wine where you're gazing at the art. And to me, it just seems like this is a little more than that. So I'm just trying to figure out what you're really trying to do.
We're just trying to have an opening like all the rest of the galleries have had openings in the past.
Could you explain the concept behind the Darkroom 2?
It's a photography show based on, well, there's a movie called The Dark Room that's about photography, and so we're trying to raise money through sales of art to build a dark room in our workspace.
Okay, so are you going to be previewing that film for your patrons?
No.
Okay, but you're just showing.
The dark room is
photographs.
the name of the opening. It's because it's a photography show.
Photographs of everything, something?
All sorts of subjects. It's a multi-person show. There's about 12 different artists that are involved in it. We have stuff for sale from $1 to $50, basically. So.
Any airplane pictures?
I'm not sure. There is a great shot of City Hall, though.
I guess just one of my, this is the folk festival weekend. My concern is that there's gonna be the people that don't wanna go to Finn's Pub and the Blue Shamrock and All-Star Cafe and Tremonti and wherever else are gonna be at the gallery, which is good for you guys, buying, but just slugging back wines. There's gonna be a big group. Is that not the intention? I'm just trying to get it clear.
Not at all, sir.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't even drink alcohol myself. The way I see it, it's while people are there, I want people to just feel comfortable enough so that they don't have to run and get a drink somewhere else. It's never been our intention to overserve anyone, and we've never had an issue with that.
All right, well, that's my, I was just.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a common sense sort of, if you've been to any other opens at the Brush or All, or, you know, I know they're still trying to work it out as far as the specifics of the licensing, but I can assure you that it's not a thing to get people loaded and send them back out.
Okay.
Where are you gonna put your dark room?
We also rent the 5th floor of the Wyman's Exchange Building, formerly the old Leahy Clinic. So that's our workspaces up there. And we're looking to put a darkroom up there for some of our photographers in the group.
There are people that are still doing what film?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's sort of a throwback, but people still do it.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
Thank you very much. Sorry for my lateness.
That's all right. We'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Next meeting, let's have something else instead of aye, because we're always saying aye.